This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Parker, Colorado. I'm here at Doyle Plumbing. Since 2016, this locally owned Colorado company has provided prompt response, consistent service, and high-quality work for any plumbing project. I'm here with Josh, who is the owner, master plumber. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. Share with me how it is you got involved in this type of industry.
Well, I started out when I was home from college with my parents back in Chicago, and there was a plumbing company right by their house. And they were hiring for help in the warehouse. So I started in the warehouse, and they offered me a job as a plumber, and I decided it'd be a good line of work to go into since I was getting into college debt. So
the rest is history, as they say, right?
that's the truth. It is. I just kept with it, and it turned
And here
out
you
to be
are.
good.
I mean, basically, you've got your own business here, locally here in Parker. And when I think about plumbing, I think of water, the luxury of water. Yes, it's a necessity for us. It's one of those things we use in our home every day. We take it for granted until it stops working, until something happens. Then we kind of go into a panic. The panic mode. I imagine that's something you guys deal with day in and day out. And is that something you try to understand as you serve the public?
Yes, we definitely deal with that day in and day out. And we do try and help everyone with that. We try and calm them down, get their water shut off if it's still running, and then try and get to them as soon as we can. Usually we can do it that day,
nice.
And depending on what they need, usually we can get their issue solved that day. And
That is great. I mean, depending on what they need. I mean, from a small drip, maybe somebody needs to, sometimes a plumbing emergency. Is it important to you that your team is accessible to the public, and you try to at least provide a quick response to people to kind of calm them a little bit?
Oh, yeah, we do. So we try to get out there as fast as we can, especially if they tell us there's water on their floor, anything like that. We actually have other contractors we work with that can come out and suck the water out of their carpet if need be, extract water, deal with mold, remediation, stuff like that. So we kind of help get that started too, and then hopefully, get their plumbing issue taken care of at the same time.
That is excellent. I mean, water really is the lifeblood for all of us. We use it not only for cleaning, but for ourselves. Yet water itself can be pretty damaging if it's not contained. Why is it important for somebody to call a professional like yourself? Probably the sooner the better when they have a water problem.
So if they don't get in touch with a professional right away, you could be looking at, mold growth in anywhere in your home. Water, it's destructive. It destroys everything. It's how the Grand Canyon was formed, so it's going to do tons of damage. So the longer a leak goes on, it's going to just continue to get worse.
Josh, you serve the public here in Parker. I myself am a resident of Parker. When it comes to water, I mean, tell me about Parker's water. Is there some way we can improve a little bit?
Well, it's good water, but it's very hard, has a lot of minerals in it, a lot of chlorine. And we want to get rid of that. Colorado's known for using tons of chlorinates for cleaning its water. And a lot of people's water is almost close to being pool water. It's that high in chlorine. So we have a lot of water treatment options that can help get rid of that chlorine. We have reverse osmosis systems for just drinking water, coffee, makes the water taste better. We have water softeners that actually have water filters built into them too. A lot of different systems for water treatment. That's really great.
I mean, quite honestly, Josh, we live in an age of do-it-yourself. YouTube videos out there on everything. We think we can build our own house. We think we can do surgery on ourselves. And some people think they can do their own plumbing. Why is plumbing not the best do-it-yourself job? You're trying to save $1 on the front end, but might cost you more on the back.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the fact that plumbers are regulated and controlled by the health department. So they are the ones who actually are, giving us our licensing, all that. It's a department of, here in Colorado, DORA, Department of Regulation Agency. So, but your health is the main thing that we're concerned about with plumbing. And that is why plumbing is in place. It's there so that, we can dispose of things that needed to be disposed of, but they have to be done in a healthy manner or else everyone can get sick.
That's why the professional exists today in that area. I mean, this is the kind of occupation where there's more than meets the eye. I mean, a lot of this stuff is hidden behind walls, hidden under the ground here. I imagine a simple problem can turn pretty complex rather quickly. Is that important where years of experience come in and a professional can find out what the real issue is?
Yeah, we get calls weekly for, say, water leaks that people can't figure out where they're coming from, stuff like that. Or they've already had somebody look into it and they can't find it. And we have extensive knowledge in finding leaks. You know, we've been doing this for 20 years now, and we have tools that help us do that. We have small cameras where we can drill little holes in walls and then go look into the wall and be able to see if the leak's actually coming from there before we have to actually do a lot of damage to somebody's home.
That is excellent. I mean, not only do you have the tools to fix the problem, but you're talking about tools to find the problem, which can save a lot of time. An amateur could, tear up their house looking for this problem and cause a problem. Has the technology improved throughout the years, just since you've been doing it, especially when you're talking about video cameras and that type of thing?
Oh, yes, it has. We definitely didn't have the cameras that you could see through small little holes in the walls when I first started. Even the sewer cameras that go down into scope sewer lines, to see if there are any issues in the sewer lines, they've changed drastically. The picture quality has gone from being able to see, cracks. We couldn't see cracks in lines before almost. It was just being able to see separations, stuff like that. Now it's HD, your picture's clear as can be. So it's great.
And that's great for the consumer on that end. Small little holes much better than digging through their entire wall. Saves them a lot of money that way. Let me ask you, regardless if you're repairing a pipe or maybe replacing the entire pipe, any type of project you do out there, is it important that you provide an accurate estimate on the front end so there's not real big surprise for the consumer?
Yeah, definitely. We find it that, if we come out there and we give you a good number and we can figure out exactly what needs to be done, everyone's a lot happier in the end if we can get you something that's going to be in writing. We're going to know what it's going to cost, and we usually don't have to go too much ever beyond our estimates if we do have one. So
that is excellent. I mean, before I said we rely on water for so many things, sprinkling our lawn as well as cleaning our dishes, our laundry, but also ourselves. Warm water is a luxury. Has that technology changed in the past? Is the hot water heater still the way to go, or do you kind of see a shift in the way people are heating their water?
I definitely do. So a lot of people installing tankless water heaters. We're installing at least one tankless water heater, usually a week. They're great. You have on-demand heat. You're not sitting there boiling a huge pot of water all the time. For customers that have 4 kids, stuff like that, they can actually, all shower instead of having to wait and take turns. So they don't have to plan showers out anymore. It's just really taken a turn where people are leaning more towards that if they can, So the actual water like that it's heated on demand. It's not sitting in a container, which kind of worries me when I look at a container like that. I mean, some of these are kind of old. I imagine that can be kind of interesting what you might find inside of some of these. Oh, yeah, definitely. We actually have, I think, a picture on our Instagram and Facebook page of where we've cut open a water heater, and you can see actually what the inside looks like of a really calcified water heater. And we did it just for fun, so we could see, how bad it was. But it was more also to show customers that this is what's inside your tank. If you go with a tankless, you're not sitting there with all that calcium inside your tank, and your water's not sitting through all that.
No wonder you're seeing more and more of those coming along. Obviously, if you're replacing toilets, replacing sinks, tubs, that type of thing, is this kind of a one-stop shop? Can you actually order in the item for the people? Do you have name brands that you work with so they can get it all done through you?
Yes, yeah, we do. They can actually order through us. We have catalogs usually that they can look at, or we have a website online that we can refer them to. Our supply houses all have everything listed online, and it's a great place to start for everyone to look. Then we can order them, and a lot of times we get discounts on a lot of the prices that they see out there. So we can help them out a little bit with getting a little bit cheaper products sometimes.
That is very nice. As we said before, there's a lot hidden in these walls, the floors here. It's an intricate network that a professional like you knows all about. Leaks happen, and here in Colorado, I imagine even freezing happens. Is there something that people can do out there to prevent that, and also what they can do before the plumber shows up when you got a frozen line?
So a lot of it has to do with just that our temperature here, it'll drop for a few days so low. And a lot of people, they don't adjust their thermostats for that. Sometimes if you just raise the heat up in your house, even a couple degrees when we're in temperatures that low, it'll help because you won't, in those drafty areas, that area will just stay a little bit warmer. That or open cabinet doors where there's plumbing supply lines, water underneath it. That lets hot air into those areas that don't get any hot air, stuff like that.
Very interesting. A little prevention there goes a long way. Yeah. We talk a lot about fixing when it comes to plumbing, but there's more than just fixing and plumbing. People are using plumbing for upgrading. I mean, putting in new tubs, new showers. I mean, I see homes with almost spas inside of them. Is that something your team can go in and do as well?
Yes. Yeah. We're installing a lot of freestanding tubs now, which they're nice. They're really great, easy to keep clean. They look great in a nice open space, but also they give you a nice deep soaking instead of having your old 18-inch deep tub that you have to almost lay back on your back to get in. So it's kind of nice.
Kind of nice to upgrade your home in that way. As I read your reviews online, you've got great reviews out there. One thing that I see is consistent quality, and I see affordable. Do you believe that can go hand in hand, the quality with affordability, and is that important to you?
It's very important to me, and I definitely think they can go hand in hand. I tell all my guys, the first thing that we want to make sure is that the customer's happy, and that part of that is affordability. If we're not going to be affordable, they're not going to be happy.
That is true. I mean, we're watching every penny anymore, and we want to make sure we can get it done right at the same time. If you've got somebody out there that is basically looking to maybe be a plumber, maybe even join your team, is that something you're always looking at as well?
Oh, definitely. Right now, we even have a 19-year-old apprentice right out of high school. He's been with us about 6 months. He's doing great. He's learning the trade, and he seems to love it too. And that's exactly what we want. We want the younger generation to get into the trades because they're not as much as they used to be. It's hard to find young guys that actually want to work and use their hands and also use their minds. So
that is great. Let me ask you this: you're serving the community here in Parker, basically small business. You've been around for some time. You're serving everyone. Does this continue to be rewarding for you? Kind of getting people out of a tight spot when they call you up in a panic.
Yeah, it definitely does. I really enjoy, honestly, helping people. It's why I got into this. I originally wanted to be a fireman, and so I could help people. And being a fireman in Chicago, you really have to know somebody. So also to be a plumber, you have to know somebody, it turns out. But I found the right path, and I'm definitely happy I became a plumber. I'm able to help people every day and see somebody who doesn't have one of the necessities that they need in life and give them to them. So
that is excellent. So it's good to have a friend in the plumbing business right here in Parker. Yes. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you'll learn more about this plumbing business that began back in 2016. He had many years before that experience. Also, check him out on Facebook. They're going to keep you apprised of a lot of the projects they have going on. Pretty interesting to look at some of these photos of what they're able to do. A lot of hidden network behind your walls there. They'll also let you know of some upgrades you might want to think about, maybe putting in a new tub, new shower as well. This is an organization began back in 2016. That's Doyle Plumbing. Fast, friendly, and efficient service guaranteed. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.